In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as seeing if we can make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat scents from 1958 or older. We'll also be looking for any proofs, foreigns, heirs or varieties, or any other interesting things we can find. And we'll be setting aside any copper we find and seeing how much we can fill up the copper jar. And I have checked these 2 boxes for enders, and we do only have 1 ender for the hunt. Box number 1, just a modern 1984 Canadian. So hopefully we can get some wheat scents from inside the rolls. So now let's start the hunt on penny box number 1, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. First roll of the box, and we're going to have a wheat scent in roll number 1, which is a great start to the box. It is just a common 50s, a 1952 Denver, but it gets us on the board. Just opened roll 2, now we're 2 for 2 for rolls for wheat scents. Hopefully this can continue throughout the box. See a wheat scent reverse right there near the front of the roll. And our second wheat scent is going to be a 1956 Denver. Same roll, and I just uncovered another wheat scent. So now we have 3 wheat scents in the first 2 rolls of the box, which is an amazing start. Although this one is just another 1956 Denver. No wheat scents in roll 3, but I just opened roll 4. Now we have 4 wheat scents in 4 rolls, which is amazing. Hopefully the box can continue at this pace for the entirety of the box. Wheat scent number 4 is going to be 1942 from Philly. Just opened roll number 5, and the wheat scents are going to continue, and we have an old one in this roll. Out popped in the back, we have a 1920 out of Philly. Always great to find a wheat scent from the 20s. They're pretty hard to find, although this one is pretty common, and we do have it for the album, but still, a 1920 out of Philly, that's an amazing find. Same roll, and I can't believe we already have 6 wheat scents and 5 rolls in the box. This is an amazing start. Wheat scent number 6 is yet another 1956 out of Denver. Still on the same roll, and that roll had 3 wheat scents in it. There's another one right behind that 1920 that I missed when I took it out. It's in pretty nice shape, probably in the 50s. Wheat scent number 7 is a 1957 Denver. Next roll, and every wheat scent I find, I'm more surprised that this box has no enders in it, because we're already at 8 wheat scents in the first 6 rolls. 1 away from being an ender in the back is our next wheat scent, which is going to be another 1957 Denver. Next roll once again, we're going to have yet another wheat scent, and we're also going to have the first Canadian of the box besides the ender. Pretty modern, I'll just pull it out since I have it here. It's 1984, just like the ender. And the wheat scent, I see the date just a few coins in. Yet another 1957 out of Denver. Just opened roll 15, and we did go a little bit without getting another wheat scent, but we are going to get wheat scent number 10 for double digits in this roll. And I didn't open the roll very good, as you can see, but we do have a wheat scent right there, so we're going to get double digit wheat scents in 15 rolls, which is amazing for no enders. And wheat scent number 10 is a 1949 out of Denver. Next roll, it seems like we're definitely back on the wheat scents now, because we have wheat scent number 11 in this roll. See the reverse of it right here near the middle. And it looks like it might have been cleaned or something. Wheat scent number 11. It's pretty beat up. It looks like it's a 50, maybe a 1951 Denver. If it's something else, I'll bring you back, but we're going to call it a 1951 Denver for now. Roll 18, just uncovered yet another wheat scent. First, for those of you who are wondering, I did scope that wheat scent. It is a 1951 Denver. Super beat up, doesn't really matter, but the wheat scent I just found is 1942 out of Denver. Just opened roll 19, and I see the edges of 2 different wheat scents in this roll. One of them popped out in the back. I can already see the date. It's a 1950 out of Denver. And the other wheat scent, I see the reverse near the front of the roll right here. And this one's going to be 1951 out of Denver. Just opened roll 21. The wheat scents are going to continue because I see a pair of them in this roll. First one I see is a darker colored one right here. And it's going to be 1953 Denver. And this one a little further back in the roll. Next wheat scent's going to be a 1951 out of Denver. Roll 25, halfway through the box, just got another wheat scent. I did just count the total wheat scents. This is going to be our 17th one. So if we get the same amount in the second half, that's 34 wheat scents in the box, which would be absolutely amazing. And wheat cent number 17 is another 57 Denver. Just opened roll 27, and I see the edge of yet another wheat cent for wheat cent number 18 of the box right here. And it's in pretty decent shape, probably in the 50s. And it's, of course, it's the last year 58 Denver. Just opened roll 29, and we're going to have a few different finds in this roll. First is going to be the second Canadian in the box. Only 2 Canadians so far, even though we have the ender coming up. And this one is a 1977. And we have a couple wheat cents near the start of the roll. One I can already see the date. Just another 1956 Denver. And I see a reverse of one right here as well. And that one is 1941 out of Philly. Next roll, we're going to have yet another wheat cent. This box is absolutely amazing for the wheat cents for having no enders. This wheat cent is here in the middle of the roll. And this one's going to be a 1945 Philadelphia. Roll 31, just uncovered another wheat cent, and this one's actually a pretty nice one from the 40s. It's a 1947 Denver with a little bit of luster left on it, which is pretty rare for a 40s wheat cent. But in the album for a 47 Denver, we do already have a really nice one, so it's not going to upgrade, but still, that's a really nice 40s wheat cent find. Just opened roll 34, and I see the edge of another wheat cent. This one is near the back of the roll, right here. And this time we're going to have a 1946 Denver. Roll 35, just uncovered yet another wheat cent. This one is a San Francisco one from the 40s. First one of those in the box. It's a 1944 San Francisco. Roll 36, and you guessed it, we have yet another wheat cent near the end of the roll. Just uncovered it. It's another 1953 out of Denver. Just opened roll 38. We're going to have a couple more wheat cents in this roll. See a 2 by the start of the roll. One I can already see the date right here. 1945 out of Philly. And I see a wheat cent reverse a few coins behind it. That's going to be a 1945 from Denver this time. Roll 39. We don't have another wheat cent, but I'd have to argue that this find is even better, because I just uncovered a beautiful proof cent. Look at that 2002 S proof. It's almost completely perfect. Almost no marks on it at all. Nice thick edge. Yeah, almost no marks on the reverse either. This is an absolutely beautiful proof. Probably the nicest proof penny I've ever found, to be honest. Probably the best find of the hunt so far, since we don't have anything for the album yet. Just opened roll 40. We're going to have yet another wheat cent in this roll. I see the edge of its reverse right here. Looks pretty nice, probably in the 50s, and it is a 57 out of Denver. Same roll, just uncovered another wheat cent, and just like the other one from this roll, it's another 1957 Denver. Just opened roll 41, we're going to have yet another wheat cent. This one's just a couple coins from the back of the roll, right here, if I can get it out. There we go. And this wheat cent is 1945 Philadelphia. Roll 42, just uncovered another wheat cent. This one is 1940 out of San Francisco. Don't need it for the album, that's a great find. Just opened roll 46, we're going to have a couple wheat cents in this roll. Both ones I see are near the back. I see the date of one right here, and actually looks pretty nice. Yeah, it's a pretty nice 58 Denver. It is just a 1958 Denver, but I'm pretty sure the one we have in the album that's also red-brown, so maybe that'll be an upgrade. And a few coins behind it. We have wheat cent reverse right here, so it could be a little older. And it's just a 1944 from Denver. Same roll, just uncovered another wheat cent. This one is just another 1958 Denver, but it's definitely not as nice as the last one. Roll 49, box isn't done yet, just uncovered another wheat cent. This one's just another one from the 50s, 1953 from Denver. Last roll of the box, and the box is going to end off in a fitting way because, just like the rest of the box, you're going to get another wheat cent. This box had so many wheat cents for no enders, definitely really surprised me. Just a fantastic box overall. And this last roll wheat cent is in 1942 out of Philly. Box 1 has been hunted, and it was just an excellent box, mostly because we got so many wheat cents throughout the box. We ended with a grand total of 36 wheat cents, which is amazing for having no enders. Probably my best box I've had with no enders in it. Only one pre-40s, just a common 1920 on a Philly, but that's alright. The amount of wheat cents definitely makes up for not having any older ones. Only 3 Canadians for the box, including the one that was an ender, which is a lot less than I usually get, but that's alright. One 1960 small that I got near the end, and probably my favorite find of the box, that almost flawless 2002 S Proof. Super great condition, definitely just dumped into circulation. You don't find proof pennies too often, so that's an awesome find. And overall, box number 1, again, was just an amazing box. Still going to add the second box onto this video, and if it's anything like the first one, the video might end up being a little long, so I apologize for that. So, let's hunt box number 2, the sister box of box number 1, and hopefully the great success can continue. Roll 3 of box 2 is going to have the first find of the box, and it is going to be a wheat cent, and it's one from the 40s, 1944, minted in Denver. Just opened roll 5 of box 2, and I see the edge of the second wheat cent of the box. It's right there. It maybe looks like it's a little worn, maybe a little bit of an older one. Hopefully it's old, and hopefully fills a spot in the album. And it's old, and I think we don't have this one. A 1927 Denver, a 20s with a mint mark. Those are really hard to find. And yeah, I thought we didn't have it, and we definitely don't. We don't even have a single 27, let alone a 27 Denver with only 27 million minted. That is an amazing find, an awesome addition for the album. Just opened roll 7, and we're going to have the next wheat cent for the box. Just opened the roll, and I see the edge of it right here. And it's in decent shape, and it's going to be a 1957 Denver. Roll 13, just uncovered another wheat cent for box number 2. It's another one from the 40s, and it is 1940, minted in Philly. Next roll, just uncovered another wheat cent. Now we're at 5 wheat cents for box 2. Already halfway to double digits in 14 rolls, which is a great start. And this wheat cent is a pretty nice 1946 Denver. Roll 17, just uncovered another wheat cent, so it's going to be 6 for box number 2 now. Again, getting off to a good start. This one is 1956 Denver. Roll 18, just uncovered yet another wheat cent for the 50s, so we're definitely approaching double digits pretty fast for this box. This one is 1957 out of Philly. Next roll again, roll 19, just uncovered another wheat cent, and this one's actually a little bit of an older one. It is pre-40s, although it's just a common 1939 out of Philly. Still great to see a wheat cent from before 1940. Roll 24, now only be 1 away from double-digit wheat cents for the box already because I just uncovered another one. See its reverse right here. This is going to be the 9th wheat cent of box number 2, and it's going to be a 1940 out of Philly. Just opened roll 27, and we're going to get double-digit wheat cents in this roll because I just opened the roll. I see the edge of wheat cent number 10 of the box right here. It's awesome to get double digits in 27 rolls. Anything from here on out, it's just a bonus. And wheat cent number 10 is a 1947 from Denver. Just opened roll 28, and I see the edges of 2 different wheat cents in this roll actually, so it's going to be a pretty good roll. One of them, I can see the date right here. Looks to be 1944 out of Philly, which it is. And second coin in, 1 away from being an ender. We have a wheat cent reverse right there. And wheat cent number 12 is a 1945 from Denver. Just opened roll 30, and we're going to have the edge of yet another wheat cent in this roll. This one is pretty near the back, right here. And this wheat cent is going to be 1950, minted in Denver. Just opened roll 32, and I see the edge of yet another wheat cent. This box doesn't have as many as box number 1, but it's still a great box, getting a lot of wheat cents. Definitely a great 2-box hunt. And this wheat cent's going to be a 1945 Denver. Same roll, and I just uncovered another wheat cent near the back of the roll. This one's another one from the 40s, and it's in pretty good shape for being from the 40s, from 1947 from Denver. Just opened roll 34. We're going to have a couple more wheat cents in this roll. I see a couple of wheat cent reverses right there, right there. Pull this one out first. This one is going to be 1944 Denver. And one a little bit behind. That one's going to be 1945 out of Philly. Roll 36, and I just uncovered the oldest wheat cent of box number 2, and it's actually the same one as the old one we got in box number 1. 1920 out of Philly. Again, it's a pretty common one, and we have it for the album already, but still, it's over 100 years old, and that's a great find. Also, this coin a few coins back looks pretty old as well, and it is going to be another wheat cent. It's a 1942 out of Philly. That was a great roll with an oldie. Just opened roll 40, and I see the edge of another wheat cent, just a couple coins away from being an ender. Back of the roll right here. And this time we're going to have one from the 30s. Awesome. Another 30s wheat cent. 1937 out of Philly. And we do already have all the 37s in the album. The 37 filling at 309 million minted, so it's a pretty common one, but still, another 30s wheat cent. This box is given quite a few pre-40s, which is awesome. Just opened roll 43. I see the edge of another wheat cent for box 2. I've definitely lost track of how many wheat cents we have. Got 36 in box 1. I think we're getting kind of close to that for box 2. And this wheat cent is another 1957 Denver. Roll 45. Just uncovered another wheat cent. And this wheat cent is a 1945 minted in Philly. Next roll, just uncovered yet another wheat cent. This one's also from the 40s, and it is 1942 out of Philly. Just opened roll 47, and I see the edge of another wheat cent, and I don't know, it looks kind of old to me. Also looks corroded. Hopefully it's not a corroded newer one. Definitely looks worn. Hopefully it's an old one, and again, hopefully it fills a spot in the album. It's not even an old one. It's just a super worn 1942 Denver. Just open the next roll. I see the edge of yet another wheat cent. This one's only one away from being an ender in the back. Again, no enders for either box, and we've gotten a ton of wheat cents for both boxes, which is awesome. This one's going to be a 1952 Denver. Same roll, just uncovered yet another wheat cent. This one's near the back of the roll, and it is 1951 from Philly. Last roll, and just uncovered another wheat cent at the beginning of the roll. Just another one from the 50s, 1953, out of Philly. I'll hunt this last roll. If there's nothing else, I'll be back with a wrap-up. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 8 1959s, 15 estimates, as well as 33 2009s. Foreigns, we only had 6 for the 2 boxes, which is a lot less than I usually get. They're all Canadians. The newest was 1997, and the oldest were a couple of bird cents we got in box 2, which is pretty cool. 2 miscellaneous finds. We did have one 1960 Denver small date for the hunt, as well as that beautiful 2002 San Francisco proof from box 1. That's definitely the nicest proof penny I've found in a while, and you don't get proof pennies too often, and that is an amazing find. Now for the wheat cents. Obviously, that's where all the finds were for these boxes. We had 63 wheat cents total for 2 boxes, 36 out of box 1 and 27 out of box 2. 2 absolutely amazing boxes. There are so many finds. I bet this video is super long. I do apologize for that, but with this many finds, what can you really do? We also had quite a few old ones as well. 2 from the 30s, 1937 and 1939, both from Philly. Both common, both already in the album, but still cool to get a couple 30s. And we also had 3 from the 20s, 2 just common, 1920 Phillies, already have that. But we do have an addition right here, a 1927 Denver, definitely need that for the album. Excited to put that in. Now lastly, for copper, we did pretty average for the 2 boxes, but average is good because we almost filled the copper jar. Usually do pretty well in copper, and that success definitely continued in this hunt. So overall, it was an absolutely amazing hunt. So many wheat cents in both boxes, just 2 absolutely amazing penny boxes. So now we'll go through all of the finds, all the wheat cents, and see how much progress we can make to the Hunt Fill album. And I'll bring you back with an album update. Just finished updating the album, and I'm happy to say that we have made quite a bit of progress this episode, which is awesome. We had 1 addition and 3 upgrades. Let's go for the upgrades first. The first upgrade was the 1920 out of Philly. The one in there before had slightly rough surfaces, and they had about the same amount of wear, so I decided to upgrade that one. And then our other 2 upgrades were also wheat cents. The 1945 Philly and the 1945 Denver were both upgrades. Those 2 examples just have slightly less wear than the ones that were in there before. And the addition, of course, probably my favorite find of the hunt, the A 1927 out of Denver, only 27 million minted. Definitely a tough one to find from the album, and getting editions this far into the series is pretty tough. Super happy to have beta in this episode. Plus, along with the album progress, we got a lot more wheat cents for the collection, 63 total for the hunt, which is amazing for 2 boxes. Again, I apologize this video got long, we just had so many finds, but those were an awesome 2 penny boxes. We made some good progress to the Hunt and Fill album as well.